So hello everyone, now we are gonna start our new chapter, a new technology, and the name of that technology is JavaScript. So before we begin, what are the things we are gonna learn in JavaScript? What is the procedure that we are gonna follow to learn this language and how we can implement this language in development? Before we talk about that, I wanna clear you guys one thing, which is JavaScript is one of the most important things in web development journey. If you're not clear with JavaScript, then in the upcoming sessions we are gonna go into backend, right? We are gonna learn Node.js, Express.js, and some framework, RESTful APIs, all those kind of things, right? So we are gonna do all those things using JavaScript, right? And if we are not clear with JavaScript now, then believe me, you cannot understand complete backend. And JavaScript is the browser, right? Everything, whatever the things we are doing in our browser, whether it might be Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Safari, whatever it might be, it is running on JavaScript. Okay, and yeah, the thing I want to say, it is important, really important, and that is why what I did is I'm dividing this whole JavaScript into 15 parts or 15-16 parts. I don't know like how much I'm gonna cover, but yeah, we are gonna cover complete JavaScript with 15 packed lectures, right? And in this we are gonna divide this 15 lectures into two parts. In the first part, in the part 1, we are gonna cover the programming part of JavaScript. We will see what is a variable, what are arrays, what are strings, what are primitive data type, non-primitive data type. We are gonna talk about almost each and everything related to JavaScript programming, and this will take around 3 to 4 lectures, right? In JavaScript part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4, we are gonna cover complete JavaScript programming. And once we are like clear with programming part, then we will enter into development part. Okay, right now we don't know anything about web like JavaScript. That is why in the first 4-5 parts, I'm gonna cover complete, like almost whatever necessary, we are gonna cover that JavaScript programming part. After that, what we are gonna do is that in the part 2, from part 6 to part 15, we are gonna like cover how we can like integrate JavaScript into our development process, how we use them, and how JavaScript like actually works and how much importance it will have, right? So I hope you guys are very clear. We're gonna divide this whole JavaScript series into two parts. The first 6 parts, the first 6 lectures is going to be on JavaScript programming. After the next upcoming 6 lectures, from JavaScript part 7 to I think part 15 or part 13, I don't know, but in this part 7 to part 15 we are gonna cover JavaScript development part, and believe me, this is going to be one of the best lectures in our channel till now. Okay, so before we begin this lecture, I want to show you one thing. So let me come out of my PPT. Here you can see that I have opened Google Chrome. Now let me go to a website, let's say amazon.com. Okay, now you can see that I'm an Amazon website, and I think there is Diwali sale going on. Now let's say I want to search about something about, let's say, mobiles. So here I will write mobile and click enter. Now you can see that I got all the mobiles here. You can see that Techno, whatever, like sponsored mobile, Realme, Poco, whatever mobile. Now I want to add filters on it. Let's say that I want to sort all the elements by cost. I want the highest cost item first. Now you can see that elements have reloaded and I'm getting Samsung phones, right? From the phones which are having highest price are coming first. After that, you can see that as you scroll down, the price will go down. Similarly, here I can also add like filters. Let's say I only want Samsung phones. Then when I click on Samsung phones, you can see that I'm getting only Samsung phones. And this like arrangement of items, the arrangement of Samsung phones are in descending order. The price which is having highest price, that mobile is coming at first. So all these functionalities can be done by JavaScript, right? All these things can be performed, can be executed by JavaScript. Now if you want to see another website, let's say I have opened Medium here. Okay, let's not go to Medium. We have like covered enough Medium. Google Trends. Google Trends would be good. So in Google Trends, you can see like which platform or what is the term which is trending in all over the internet. So here in Google Trends, I have come in home. Now you can see that Google Trends is showing me, okay, Cricket World Cup 2022 was trending in October 5th, 2023. Now let us see what is trending now. You can see that Inter Miami versus Atlanta United. I don't know what it is. After that, something like India versus Pakistan, Afghanistan match is trending. You can see that all these trends can be done. Let's say I wanna like filter out something past for 7 days. What are the things which is trending in India? I want that. You can see that in India for past 7 days, these things are trending, like India versus New Zealand, Kashmir Kunat KK, whatever. Like this are the things which were like trending for the past 7 days. You can see that how Google Trends is calculating this. Somewhere deep down, it is related to JavaScript. So I hope you have understood how important is JavaScript. Till now, we have studied about HTML, and HTML gives the structure to our website. After that, we have studied about styling. Okay, we have the structure of our website. Now how we can make it beautiful, how we gonna make that website beautiful, we have learned. And after that, to use pre-built components, we have studied a little bit about Bootstrap. Now we are gonna learn about functionality, how we can add functionality to a web page, how we can do multiple things using JavaScript. We are gonna learn with JavaScript. We are gonna do it with JavaScript. I hope you have understood. I hope you are very clear. Now let us begin with the programming part of JavaScript. So I have told you that browser runs on JavaScript. What I mean by that, you know, in DevTools we have used a like tool, or you can say button, called as inspect, and inspect is used to see the overall structure, overall styling of a particular element or a whole website. Whatever you want, you can see the structure. Let's say I have opened Apple website. Now in the Apple website, I'm clicking on inspect, and by clicking it, I can see their HTML, CSS and JavaScript bundle. Right now, there is a tab. If you guys notice, there is a tab called as console. Right, there is a tab called as console, and in the console we can write our own JavaScript. Right, we're gonna write our JavaScript language in console for now. In part 1, like this is the first lecture, right? So in part 1 we are gonna focus on, okay, what is console, how we can write our JS in this console. After that, we're gonna learn like concepts like what you can say variables, what are variables, data types and strings, a little bit about strings. These are the two things which we will be solely focused on in this lecture. Okay, so let us talk about what is console. So before we talk about, you need to remember that console uses a rule called as REPL rule, and the full form of this REPL is read, evaluate, print, loop. So what console will do is that, let's say you're writing something. I am writing a is equals to 10. Then first of all, what our console will do is that we know that it understands JavaScript, we know that console understands JavaScript. So when you write a is equals to 10, then it will understand, okay, I am giving some value. So what my console will do is that first of all it will read, right? After that it will evaluate, okay, this is a variable, or this is a string, this is a character. Like this, I will evaluate. We will see what are strings, what is a number, what is an integer, all those kind of things, right? After that, immediately if you click enter, then it will print the output of that thing. Right, after that the same process will get repeated. Right, so this is how console will work. So let me show you. So to go to console, what we can do is that I will open a new tab. So after opening a new tab, I will click on inspect. Now you can see that okay, let me attach this. Okay, now you can see that this is my Google Chrome, and this is my HTML, all those kind of things, right? Now you can see that there is a button called as console. Now when you click on the console, you will get all these things. So let me remove this. Okay, you will get all these things. Now if you want to take console out of your page, you cannot see, right? Console is very small here. Now if you want to remove it out of your page, then you click on this three icons button, and in the Docker screen, undock into separate window. We can remove this console in separate window. So click on it. Now you can see that I got this console in a separate window. I got my dev tools like this is element, console, sources, resources, network, all this we got in a separate window. Okay, now there are many things. Chrome is moving towards a new experience, all these things. Now for now we don't need anything. So to clear the screen on console, we can click Ctrl L. In Windows we use Ctrl L to clear the screen in our console. Now if you want to clear the same thing, the same procedure in MacBook, then I think you have to use Command K. So Command K is used to clear screen in Mac, and in Windows Ctrl L is used to clear our screen in our console. Okay, now clear. Now what I told you, what I just told you is console understands JavaScript, right? So whatever I'm writing, let's say I'm writing hello or whatever, let's say I'm writing some random thing. Now it will show me an error. Caught reference error is not something, whatever hello something is not defined, right? Now for example, let's say I'm writing a is equals to 10. Now you can see that when I wrote a is equals to 10, it didn't give me an error because there are some rules in JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language. Till now we have studied HTML and CSS, right? So these two languages are, HTML is a hypertext markup language, and CSS is a styling language. But JavaScript is a programming language, and when it comes to programming, there are certain rules which we have to follow, right? Every language has its own syntax. If you are watching my channel for a long time, we have covered Java, right? Java plus DSA, and in Java we have followed a structure of syntax, right? We have followed a order. Similarly, JavaScript has also a order, and to write all the things in that language we need to follow that order. Okay, clear. Now you can see that when I wrote a is equals to 10, then it immediately evaluated. First of all, it read, after it evaluated, and immediately it gave me the output as 10. Let's say I'm giving a string, let's say str is equals to Tony Stark, right? Tony Stark, and click on enter. You can see that immediately you will get this output, right? You will get the print statement immediately. Now this process will continue in console. I can also give, let's say is true is equals to true. I'm giving true. Now you can see that is true is equals to true, it is giving me true. Okay, now let's say I want to print str. Then when I click on str, you can see that immediately I will get Tony Stark as my output. Now let's say I want to check about a particular variable. What is the data type of that variable? We will talk about variable, we will talk about what is data type, all those kind of things in few minutes. But let's say I have written a is equals to 10. Now I'm giving type of a. Now when I give type of a, you can immediately get the output, right? Number. Let's say I'm writing type of str. Now you can see that I got the type of str as string, right? Right now we don't know what is a string, what is a number, all those kind of things, but give me few minutes, I will clear each and everything. Okay, now if I write type of, let's say is true, you can see that I got the output as Boolean. Like this we can write anything we want in our console screen. Now one thing you need to remember here, that whatever the JavaScript we are writing in the console, it is temporary, right? Let's say that this is my console, right? Now I'm minimizing it, so let me minimize it. Okay, now you can see that this is my Chrome browser and this is my console. Now when I click on refresh, now you can see that immediately all the things, whatever the things I have written in console disappeared. So you need to remember, that whatever the things we are writing in our console is temporary. The JavaScript which we are writing in our console is temporary JavaScript. Okay, now if you want to clear your old console screen, then you have to click Ctrl L. By clicking it, your screen will become blank. Your screen will get cleared. Okay, we are clear till now. Okay, now let us talk about what is a variable. Let us dive into the programming part of JavaScript. We have studied about variables in Java. Now what I will do is that I will repeat all those things here. So a variable is simply a storage location, right? So for example, let's say that in computer there are various memory locations, right? And in that memory locations, if you want to store something, then we will write variable. We will create a variable, and variables are used to store data in them, right? Now if you're not getting a clear idea, you can imagine it as a earth, right? We have earth. On earth we have land, right? And land is distributed into like different parts, different square part, rectangle part, and each land is owned by someone, right? Each land, on land we build our houses, we build our hospitals, right? So let's say we have a house. Now you want to access some facilities in house, right? You have your own house. Now in that house you want to access some facilities. It might be AC or whatever you want, right? You want to go into that house and want to access something, want to utilize something. Now to go to your house, what do you need? You need address, and that address is nothing but variable. So what I mean by this is, in memory, in computer, our memory is divided into different blocks. Now for example, let's say I am giving a is equals to 10. Then what will happen is that a new memory block will get formed in my computer, right? Let's say this is another block which is formed in my computer, and it will store the data. What is the data here? 10. So it will store 10, and the address of that, the name of that block would be A. Now let's say I want to access the data at A block. How I can access? Through variable name. I hope you have understood. So what is variable? Variables are the characters or the expressions which are used to store data, right? And how memory works? Memory in a computer, our memory is divided into different blocks, and when you create and assign something to a new variable, then a new block will get formed in your computer, and the name of that block will become equal to your variable. And through variable you can access the data of a particular variable, whatever the variable might be. Here you can see that there is a block called as Tony Stark. Now let's say I want to access Tony Stark, right? I want to access this block. How I can access? I can access through the name of the variable. Through this variable I can access Tony Stark. Let's say I want to access this value, this block. Then I can access this variable through this variable name. What is the name of the variable? Age. Through age I can access 23. Like this memory and variables works. Now in JavaScript we have two types of you can divide any data type into two types: primitive data type, non-primitive data type. In primitive data type we have again 9 types. The first type is number, after it Boolean, after it string, undefined, null, after it begin and symbol. So we will not study these two right now. In future we might study these two, but right now let us focus on this 5 things. What is a number? What is Boolean? String, undefined and null. What are these things? Let us talk about in detail. So a number in JavaScript is basically an integer value, a float value, double, short, byte. All this things comes under a number data type. Okay, now let's say that here I am writing A is equals to 100, B is equals to 10.51, and C is equals to minus 100. So you can see that whether it might be an integer or a decimal value or a negative value, whatever the value might be, if we are assigning numbers to a variable, then the data type of that variable will come under number data type. Now how we can create numbers, we have already seen. Let me show you. So in our console, this is our console, right? So in the console I will write, let me first of all clear. Now I will write A is equals to 100. You can see that I got the output as 100. After that I will give B is equals to 10.51. Here I need to give B is equals to 10.51, right? Again, now if you want to check what is the type of A and B, then you can give type of A, it is a number. After type of B, it is also a number. So to check what is the data type of that particular variable, you can use a function called as type of, right? Type of, curly braces, give variable name, and you will immediately get what type of data it is. Okay, now I can also perform addition operation, subtraction operation, arithmetic operation in my console. For example, let's say I am writing A plus B, then you will get immediately answer as 110.51. and if you see the type of A plus B, then it will also come under a number data type, number, right? I hope you have understood what is a number data type. Now I have just talked about like operations in JavaScript. So we have different types of operations, right? We have unary operation, we have binary operation, and arithmetic operation, all these different things. But for now, let us talk about how we can perform basic operations in our console, in our JavaScript. So let's say that I am creating two integers, A is equals to 20, B is equals to 10. Then we can perform like arithmetic operations in our console, something like this. I will write sum is equals to A plus B to like calculate addition. To calculate subtraction, I will write A minus B. After that, A cross B, A divided by B. To calculate modulo operator, operator is nothing but, let's say you are dividing two numbers, then I will give you the modulo operator, will give you the remainder of that operation. For example, let's say I am dividing 5 modulo 5. Then what this will do is that what is the remainder of it? If I am dividing 5 divided by 5, then the remainder of this division would be 5 1 ja 5, and the output will be 0. So modulo operator will give me 0 as my output. For example, I am dividing 5 modulo 2. Then what this will do is that I am dividing 2 with 5, and 2 2 ja 4. What is the remainder of this thing? 1. So this 5 modulo 2 will give me 1 as my output. Similarly, we have exponent operator. We have exponent operation, which is used to calculate the power between two numbers. Let's say I am giving 2 star star 3. Then it means that 2 to the power of 3, which is 2 into 2 into 2. It will give you 8 as your output. Like this, you can perform different operations in our JavaScript. Let us try one. So in my console, what I will do is that first of all I will clear. Now here I will give A is equals to 10. After B is equals to 10 or 20, right? 20. Now I will create a variable sum is equals to A plus B. Now you can see that I got the output immediately as 30. Now if I give difference is equals to A minus B, then I will get the output as minus 10. Similarly, here I can give multiplication is equals to A cross B. Then you can say that I got the output as 200. Similarly, I can also perform division, A divided by B, 0.5. Remainder operator, which is my modulo operator, A modulo B. You can see that my output is something 10. Okay, it is giving me 10. I don't know how, but yeah. After that, here we can also like perform exponent. So exp is equals to A modulo star star B, and it will give you the power of that thing. Like this, you can calculate like you can perform different operations in your console, and these are the different arithmetic operations we have. In part 2, we will study about how like what are the different types of operators we are having, what are the different if else condition in the next lecture. But if you want to see the type of exp, okay, exp, then you will get the output as number. Like this we can calculate different things in our console. Now the next concept is nan. This is one of the interesting things, and if you are studying for first time, then it will be like a little bit confusing for you guys. So the full form of nan is not a number, right? The full form of nan is not a number. Okay, what is the meaning of not a number? Let's say that I'm dividing or performing some operations, number operations. I'm performing operations on numbers and I don't know what is the output of that thing. For example, if I am dividing infinity divided by infinity, then I don't know what the answer is. If I am dividing 0 divided by 0, the numerator is 0, the denominator is 0, but the answer, I don't know what the answer is, but I am sure, like if the numerator is number and the denominator is number, then the resultant output for these two things would be a number, right? So nan is a part of number data type. It is a part of number data type, but the only thing is we don't know what the output is. This is the definition of nan. So if we divide two numbers or two, like whatever the things, right? If we are dividing two things and we don't know what the output is, then that thing, and if it is a part of number system, if it is a part of number data type, then that thing we call it as nan, not a number. And there are some rules. For example, nan is a global property value used for representing not a number. Okay, now if we divide 0, for example, if we divide 0 divided by 0, we don't know what the output is, but it is a part of number system, but we don't know what the number is. That thing is known as nan. Okay, now if you multiply or perform any arithmetic operation, then the resultant would be a nan itself. You will get a nan. Whatever the operation you perform, like you will multiply it, divide it, perform any arithmetic operation, the resultant thing would be a nan. Now let us see what is like how it will work in console. So let me open my console. Where is my console? This is my console. Okay, now what I will do is that I will clear all this. Okay, now I will write a is equals to 0 divided by 0. Okay, what is the output? The output is nan. Now if I am multiplying a with 1, the output is nan. If I am adding a with 1, then the output is nan. If I am dividing a like with 2, then the output is nan. If I am adding a with a, let's set a with a, then the output is nan. So whatever the things you perform with not a number like data type or variable, then your output would be a nan. Now what is the data type? What is the type of this variable? Now let's say I am writing type of a, then you will see that the type of a is number. So nan variable, nan type variables comes under number data type. This is the thing you need to remember about nan. The next concept is precedence. Now whenever we are performing operations, like let's say I am performing some complex operations, then it is important to understand JavaScript precedence, JavaScript priority. You know, they are some things, some operations, some expressions, and this expression has the highest priority for JavaScript, and some expressions, some operators has the least priority. And if you don't understand which one has highest priority or which one has least priority, then you know in mock test, for example, you know, recently I was giving many mock tests, and in that there are questions like find the output of this particular thing, and in those questions if we don't know what is the priority, how things work, then we will make wrong answers in that thing. And I want you guys to always choose the right thing. Do not make any wrong answers. Okay, so in JavaScript we have order, like we have preference order, and JavaScript give priority to some expressions and it will give least priority to some other expressions. And the sequence of priority is this, right? As you move up, the priority order will increase. For example, let's say I'm creating a variable, let a is equals to 10 plus 20 into 10 plus 10. Okay, I'm creating this expression. Now what is the value of a? How we will like choose which operation will get performed? Here you can see that addition, multiplication, again addition is getting. So what JavaScript will do is that first of all it will solve this bracket. So we will calculate first of all 10 plus 20, right? The output is 30. After that I will multiply it, I will solve this second bracket. So I will multiply this thing with 10. After that finally I will add this and this thing. So 300 plus 10, the output will be 310. Like this JavaScript will perform different operations based on the priority, based on the precedence, right? So let us see how like calculations will work. So in the console I am writing, let's say I am writing first of all let me clear. Okay, now I am writing a is equals to 10, after b is equals to 10. Now I am giving c is equals to a plus b plus 10. Now what the output will be? First of all I will calculate the things which are there in the bracket. After that I will see other operators. After that I will see, okay, I have addition, I have subtraction, I have multiplication, like this I will see, right? So let me see what is the output. You can see that my output is some 30 value. Now like this we can also like test with different things. For example, let's say I am giving c is equals to a plus b star star 2. Now what is the meaning of it? First of all I will calculate b to the power of 2, and whatever the value I am getting, that value I will add to a. Okay, now click on enter. You will see that 10 to the power of 2. First of all I am calculating 10 to the power of 2. After calculating 10 to the power of 2 I am adding it with a. Like this we can calculate our output, and this is how precedence will work. The next interesting concept is how we can declare a particular variable. So there are two methods through which we can declare different variables in our JavaScript. Any variable, right? Now if you recall, I want you guys to recall the concepts of Java. So in Java we have learned how to declare a particular variable. We will write, first of all, let's say I am creating an integer, then I will write int a. If I am creating a Boolean data type, then I will write Boolean some t, right? First of all we will write the data type. After that we will write the variable name. Like this we will declare variables in our Java. Okay, now if I want to declare the same thing in our JavaScript, then we will use a keyword called as let. So I will write let a. After that I will give a is equals to 10, like this. And one more thing you need to notice here is that JavaScript is sort of, you can say, prototype of object oriented programming. What I mean by prototype of object oriented programming is that JavaScript is kind of loose language. We don't need to give, okay, this is a int, this is a float. But in Java, in C++, in like many a programming language, we need to give the data type prior. But in JS we don't need to. It will understand automatically. JavaScript will understand. Okay, so let us see how let keyword will work, and after that we will do some questions. To write our variable, to declare our variable, I will use let keyword. So let a is equals to 10. After that type of a number. Okay, now after that here let me first of all let me write a variable through let keyword. So let a, and we will get undefined because we haven't defined anything to this particular variable. Now I'm giving a is equals to 10. Okay, now similarly I'm creating another variable, let b. Now ignore this because Chrome is doing something, the website, actual website is doing here something. Okay, here I am giving b is equals to 20. B is equals to 20. Now I am calculating the sum of these two variables. Let's say let sum is equals to a plus b. Like this I can give. Now if I want to print what is the value of sum, then you can see that the value of sum is 30. Like this I can create any data type, any variable using let keyword. Let's say let str is equals to Batman, and you can see that if I print the value of str, I will get the output as Batman. Like this we can write, and if I see what is the type of this particular str variable, then I will get the output as string. Like this we can declare variables in JavaScript. One thing I want to mention here is, there are two types of variables. We use let keyword to declare a variable, and another method is constant. So constant keyword, const, constant keyword is used to declare something constant, and if you write a constant variable, then you cannot change the value of that variable, right? For example, let's say I am writing in my console let a is equals to 10. After that I am giving a is equals to 20. After that a is equals to 30. Then this will not give me any error, because we can change the value of a variable if we have declared it using let keyword. Now let's say I have declared my variable using constant keyword. So const a is equals to 10. Okay, now I will get the output as 10 or undefined, like this, whatever we will get the output. Now what I am gonna do is that I will write a is equals to 20. When I write a is equals to 20, JavaScript will give me error. Why? Because if we have used the keyword constant, then this particular variable value is constant throughout the program. You cannot change the value of a constant variable. Okay, got it. I will show you how constant will work. No need to worry at all. Now let is a new version of another. There is an old version to declare variable. We back then we were using var keyword. Now no one is using var keyword. Var is also a keyword which is used to declare variable. Now the updated version of var is let. That is why I haven't mentioned this var in my PPT, because let is the updated, let keyword is the updated version of var. Okay, I hope you have understood what is let, what is constant. Okay, now the question. So before going to the question, I want to show you how constant keyword will work. So here I will give const a is equals to 10. I have given const a. Okay, here okay, let me give another variable. A is already using, so here I will give const c. C is not used, right? Okay, c is equals to 10. Now you can see that I have assigned the value c is equal to 10. Now if I print, I will get the output as 10. Now what I am going to do is that I will change the value c is equal to 20. Now you can see that I got the error. You can see I got the error as uncaught type error, assignment to constant variable. So here you can see that I have already declared and assigned value to a constant variable. Now I cannot rearrange, I cannot reassign to a constant variable. This is what I'm talking about. Now let us talk about the question. In the question, what is the age after 2 years? So we need to run this dummy code. So let age is equals to 23. Okay, now I have to add age by 2. So here I will give age plus 2. Now you can see that my output is 25. Like this we can perform different operations using my general plus operation, and we assign an integer, we assign a variable using let keyword. Now the next question is we need to give marks English, Math, Hindi, and we need to calculate the average of these three. So here I will give let Hindi is equals to 10. After that, let what we can give English is equals to 20. After that, let Math is equals to 90. Okay, now I have to calculate the average of all these three. So let average is equals to math plus English plus Hindi divided by 3. Now if I want to print the value of average, then I will write average. You can see that I got the value of average. Like this we can do different things in our console. Now the next concepts are assignment operator. So assignment operator are used to assign value to a particular variable, and we already know how to assign value to a particular variable. We will write a is equals to 10 and automatically the value 10 will get assigned to this particular variable. Now in assignment operator we have increment and decrement operator, right? And in increment and decrement we have again two types, pre-increment, post-increment. We will study that later, but for now let's say there is a variable and I want to increment its value by 1. Then what we will do, we will write a is equals to a plus 1. So what will happen is that now the a value is 10, then the new a value will become 11. Like this we can increment. This is a general method. Now if I want to increment the value of h using shortcut, then I will write a plus is equals to 1. So this is a shortcut to this long expression. Like this we can increment. Similarly we can also decrement by 1, we can multiply by 1. Like this we can perform anything. We can also write a divided by is equals to 1. Okay, this is known as increment and decrement operation. These are shorthands basically. In CSS we have studied different shorthands like this. These are some of the shorthands of assignment operator. You can also increment it by 2. Like let's say I want to increment it by 2, then I will write a plus is equals to 2. What this expression means is that a is equals to h plus 2. Okay, now the another concept is unary operation. So unary operation are the operations which are performed on the same variable. Like you can see that we have incremented the value of the same variable. This thing is known as a unary operation, and you can see that if we increment it by 1, then we call it as unit increment. If I decrement it the same variable by 1, then we call it as unit decrement. Like this we can perform unary operations. After that we have I have told you, right, pre-increment and post-increment. These are the two different types for unary operator. So in pre-increment what we will do is that first of all we will change the value, after that we will use. But in post-increment, first of all we use the value and then we will change it, right? This is the basic difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Now before we go into the identifier rules, let us see how this unary operation will work. Okay, so here in the screen I have given h is equals to 10. Okay, now I want to increase the h by 5. Then I will give h plus is equals to 5. Now you can see that my age is now 15. I want to multiply my age by 10. Then I will give h cross is equals to 10. My age is now 150. Now if I want to divide it by 10, then I will give h division is equals to 10. Again age is 15. Now what is the meaning of pre-increment and post-increment is that, let's say I am creating a variable, let c is equals to plus plus h. Now here it is showing some kind of error. Why it is showing some kind of error? Okay, I need to give, okay, c already exists. Okay, identifier c already declared. Okay, I have declared it previously. So here I will give let pre is equals to plus plus h. Now you can see that I am getting something. Okay, now if I print the value of pre, you can see that I have incremented my age by 1. Okay, now if I give let post is equals to age plus plus, and let me print the value of h. Here you can see that let me show you the difference between pre-increment and post-increment in a very clear sense. Let's say I am giving h is equals to h1 is equals to 10, after age 2 is equals to 20. Okay, now what I am gonna do is that I will perform pre-increment on h1, I will perform post-increment on h2. So here I will give let pre is equals to plus plus h1. So if I give pre is equals to plus plus h1, then my output would be 11. So here you can see that my output is 11. Now for post is equals to h2 plus plus. Now you can see that my output is 20. It is not changed. So what in post increment we will do is that first of all we will assign the previous value. After that we will update. Okay, I hope I have understood what is the difference between pre-increment and post increment. Now the next concept we are having important concept and a very simple thing, which is identifier rules. So they are some keywords which we cannot use. For example, let's say I'm creating a variable and the name of that variable is let. Let is a keyword, inbuilt keyword in JavaScript. We cannot use that. Like that, we have some rules to create a variable in our JS. The rules are name should contain letters, digits, underscores, all these things, no spaces, which means that let's say I'm creating letter A and I'm giving 10 spaces after B, right? And this too can't be a single variable, because we cannot give while giving the name of the variable, we cannot give space in between them. Okay, now it has to begin with a letter. We cannot begin with a dollar symbol or a rupee symbol. We cannot declare a variable starting with a symbol. Okay, now a name can also like begin with dollar and this. Okay, I think this is the only exception, which is we can start with dollar and underscore. Okay, now this is the main thing, which is JavaScript is case sensitive language. For example, let's say I'm giving A is equals to 10 and after that let capital A is equals to 20. So this A and this A are two different A's, two different variables. Why? Because the cases which we are using are different. Okay, now there are some reserved keywords and those keywords cannot be used while declaring a variable. Some reserved keyword are, for example, let's say type of. Type of is a reserved function. We cannot declare a variable name with type of. After let, after var, const. Like this we have different like inbuilt keywords and we cannot use them as variable names. Now the next thing is Boolean. So Boolean is used to represent whether a thing is true or false. Okay, and we already know how Boolean will work. We can store in a variable, we can store whether one thing is true or false. Now the next thing is TypeScript, and let us talk about TypeScript. After that we will see how Boolean will work. So TypeScript, you can say that TypeScript is a upgraded or newer version of JavaScript, and JavaScript is a prototype object-oriented language. What I mean by prototype object-oriented language is it is not packed. It is not packed. What I mean by packed is JavaScript is secure, is authentic, but when compared to TypeScript is a strict language. What I mean by strict language is that to create a particular variable we need to give int, we need to give the data type of that thing, and TypeScript is a pure object oriented language, right? So TypeScript is a pure object oriented language. That is why it has, when compared to JS, it has more security and it has more you can say relevance and reliability. Okay, and I'm not saying that JavaScript is kind of bad. JavaScript is also having some like really cool framework, really cool concepts, and you can say that JavaScript is a prototype of JS, which makes it as a weaker language when compared to TypeScript. Okay, now TypeScript is a static typed language. It means that first of all variables will get like understood first by the compiler, after the code will work, whereas JavaScript is dynamically typed. It means that while running the program it will understand. Okay, I hope I have understood. And one more thing you need to remember, that TypeScript is developed by Microsoft. Now strings. we will study about strings in detail in part 3. In JavaScript part 3, we will study about strings in detail, but you need to remember one thing about strings is strings are nothing but collections of characters. Okay, now we can perform different operations on strings, like calculating the index, all these things we will study in detail. Okay, now the last topic, by talking about the last topic, we will stop our lecture here. So what is the difference between null and undefined? So for example, let's say I have just assigned my variable, but I haven't declared or assigned. I have just declared the variable and I haven't assigned anything to that particular variable. Then that type of variable is considered as undefined. It means that the data type of that particular variable is not yet defined. That thing is known as undefined. Whereas null, if I am giving nothing to a variable, if I am giving directly in this variable, I am not gonna store anything, then I will give let a is equals to 10, a is equals to null, and it represents intentional absence of a particular variable. Okay, I hope I have understood. Here, because there is no assignment, that is why there is an ambiguity. Okay, but here I am intentionally assigning. Okay, for this variable I am assigning null. It means that I don't want anything in this variable. And what is the data type of this variable? The data type of this variable is null. So let us see how the strings, this undefined and null will work. So here I will write in the console. First of all, let me clear. I will write a string str is equals to Batman, and you will see type of str is, here I need to give type of spelling mistake str. You will see that my output is string. Now if I want to access a particular index of a particular string, then I will write str of, let's say I want to access the 0th index. Now you will see that my output is b, because the first character in the string is b. Similarly, if I give str of 10, the index which is not in my string yet, then it will show me, okay, I don't know, JavaScript is telling me that I don't know what is there in the 10th index, because there are only 6 characters in my string. Okay, if I give str of 7, it is showing undefined. Str of 6, I will give undefined. Str of 2, I will get t. Like this my indexing will work. Through indexing we can calculate a particular character in my string. Okay, now let us understand what is undefined and what is null. So here, let's say I am giving let a. Okay, now you can see that it is showing undefined. What is the meaning of it? The meaning of this thing is JavaScript is not understanding, is not getting what is the data type of this particular variable. That is why it is showing us undefined. Now let's say I am giving let b is equals to, explicitly I am giving null. Here let b is equals to null. Okay, and you can see that I got the output as null. But if I give type of b, then you can see that it is showing object, because null is an object in my JavaScript. Okay, we will study what are objects, what are classes in future, but yeah, this is the thing you need to remember. If I am explicitly giving null, then I'm not gonna, like indirectly I'm telling JavaScript, okay, here let c is equals to null. Okay, I am already using that variable, so let's say t is equals to null. Okay, yeah, I am intentionally giving, okay, for this variable the value is null and the type of that particular variable would be an object. Okay, till now I hope you guys are very clear, and this is the overall lecture, I guess. Yeah, this is the overall lecture of JavaScript part 1, and I know guys that this is going to be a long series, and I will try my best to deliver one of the best lectures possible on the internet. Okay, so with that being said, I will see you in the next lecture.